Hello, my name is Jim Myers, and I work at the Titanic Museum attraction. Today, I would love to tell you the story of William Coutts Jr. Now, when most people saw the ship in Southampton, or even maybe had a chance to go on board and take a tour of the ship, they all described it as a floating palace, but not William Coutts. William Coutts, he saw it as an adventure, a place to be explored, a place where maybe to him it would be a floating playground. And so he saw this adventure as one of the greatest things that had happened in his little life. Now, William was known as Willie to his family. His mother, Mary, and his brother, Neville, who was 3 years old, they were traveling on the ship with him. You see, they were going to New York City, where they were going to meet up with his father, who had already gone ahead and developed a business and a place for them to live. Willie, as he went about the ship, he thought to himself, I'm third class, but that doesn't matter to me. You see, who needs some of the things they have in first class? Like, who needs a gymnasium when you've got ladders and cranes that you can climb on? Who needs a fancy band to play music for you when you can go down to the boiler room and you can hear those men bang their shovels on the grate as they keep time singing Shoveling Coal? And the meals were fantastic. He said they were served on boarding house long tables with snow white linens and served by men wearing starched uniforms. On the very first day that Willie was on the Titanic, he found a group of young boys that spoke English, and so now he had the perfect gang to roam around the Titanic and have fun. Just like you would want to go and explore and find out new things about this ship. All the hallways, all the different rooms, all the different places that were to be seen. Now, some of those places, though, they weren't supposed to be in. They were asked to leave the men's smoking room several times. But they also would go down through the hallways and play tag and chase each other, and out on different parts of the ship, they enjoyed being around each other so much. Now, on the night that the Titanic struck the iceberg, he was sound asleep in his berth with nice warm covers. His mother woke him up, and he knew something was wrong because he could tell by the tone of her voice. She told him that she had heard people talking in the hallway about the ship striking an iceberg and that it could be in danger. And so she told him, I want you to get dressed and dress warm. She was getting his little brother ready, and he put on his knickers, his long woolen socks. He put on his shoes, his shirt, a real warm sweater, and his heavy coat. But he didn't have a stocking cap, and so he put on a straw hat. As they moved out into the hallway, his mother was holding their hands, but it was starting to get difficult to get through the hallways. There were people from many different countries speaking languages he didn't understand, and so many of them had their big bulky suitcases because that was all they had in the world. Finally, they get through the hallways and up to the top deck, and his mother looked at him and said, I don't know where to go. And so a kindly crew member said, Ma'am, I can help you and your boys. And he led them to lifeboat number 2. Now, getting into the lifeboat was very easy for his mother. She just stepped in and took his little brother with her. But when it came time for Willie to get into the lifeboat, the officer stopped him and said, Where do you think you're going? And so he said, I'm going with her, my mother. She said, he's going with us. And he said, oh, no, he's not. He's too old. And she said, Willie, take off the straw hat so they can see your face. And he did. And the officer realized that he was younger than he had first thought. And he allowed him into the lifeboat. The lifeboat was lowered, and it rowed away from the Titanic, where Willie watched the Titanic sink beneath the waves. He started to get worried. He said, who knows we're out here? Will anyone come to save us? The officer in his boat said, don't worry. The Carpathia knows we're out here, and they are on their way. They will fire rockets when they get here. And that's exactly what happened. Willie and his family were taken aboard the Carpathia, where they were given warm drinks and warm blankets. He fell asleep because he was so exhausted. And then the next morning, he decided, I'll go look and see if any of my friends have survived. He found one, Frankie Goldsmith. The ship continued on to New York City, and when they arrived, Willie, his mother, and his brother Neville were reunited with his father, William Coutts Sr. Well, William grew up, and it's kind of funny because he wasn't interested in the band on the Titanic, but William became a professional musician later on in life. The absolute best part of my job is what I'm doing right now. I have the opportunity to talk to children all over the world about the stories of the Titanic, and every time I do it, it just makes me feel very, very special. How many kids have I told my stories to? Oh my gosh, I don't know. It's just thousands and thousands. As a matter of fact, this week alone, I've talked to 500. So I really can't even venture a guess.